DocTalk is brought to you by Merck Animal Health. At Merck Animal Health, we're shaping the future of animal health with pioneering science, connected technology, and insights-driven solutions to bring our customers an unparalleled portfolio of choices to improve cattle care and operational efficiency. We support you and your legacy by helping you meet the challenges of today with the innovations of tomorrow.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. We're going to have a great show. We're going to have Tony Reitz with us, and we're going to be talking about predator control. We're going to talk about technology that you can use on the ranch, whether it's calf watch, things at night, things in the day, and beyond. It's going to be awesome. Thanks for joining us.
They're here, they're hungry, and they can't be stopped with ivermectin. Choose Safeguard when you deworm your cattle to take out resistant parasites like brown stomach worm, Cuperia, Nematodiris, and others. With Safeguard's efficacy, you can kill more resistant worms in your cattle, so you don't leave potential on the table. Consult your veterinarian for the diagnosis and treatment of parasitism. Then bite back at safeguardworks.com.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson, and we're here at United Patriot Supply today, just south of Seneca, Kansas, and northeast Kansas, and I'm here with Tony Reitz. And Tony is a land management outfitter by day, but you've had an extensive career in many different areas, right?
Yep. I started out, my first real job was with Wildlife and Parks, and it stuck with them for 20 years and put my 20 years in, and now I'm working for a large agricultural company called J6 Enterprises. And what I'm doing for them is I'm starting a Circle 6 Outdoors, which is an LLC branch. They're kind of our mothership. And basically I'm taking some of their land that they use for cattle and for row crop and everything else, and I'm utilizing it for like agritourism, hunting.
You know, it's a huge business. It's another way, as expensive as land is, we have to maximize our opportunities from traditional agriculture to agritourism and to outfitting and hunting. But as this business grows, we're seeing more and more people have that thought process, correct?
Absolutely. And I think you're going to see it more in years to come also. There's people that want to get outside and just don't have the ability to. Kansas, I think, is what, 3% of it is actually not private.
Right.
And so a lot of this ground, I think, as years to come, it's going to be harder for people to enjoy the outdoors. And so that's why some of these big agricultural companies that have these huge land masses, it's good to utilize it for other opportunities.
And I think it's just as important, just like what you're saying, you know, we tend to think about how we maximize our own profits and use our own resources, but really you're providing opportunity for people that any of us that chase the public land understand how important this opportunity that you provide is.
Absolutely, and it's a byproduct of something that can be utilized. And like I said, I grew up working on dairy farms or cutting shatter cane, picking up rocks in the field, and those old farmers, they wouldn't pay you much, which you wouldn't expect to get much, but they'd always say, well, you can hunt and fish on any of our grounds. So I think those days are kind of going away with all this other stuff,
Yep.
So.
Well, at least I'd rather just maybe pay for it than pick up rocks or cut weeds anymore. But I'm in a different era than I was back when we were that age. But so today, let's just kind of set up the show. We're going to talk about predator control, and we're going to talk about tools that you're utilizing at J6 and the enterprise to make your life a little easier, right?
Absolutely.
And just kind of elaborate, just kind of give us a rundown of what we're going to do today.
Well, when we started this operation with Circle 6 Outdoors with J6 Enterprises, I got to know a lot of the ranchers, a lot of the cowboys, and really learn the ground. And a lot of stuff that they battle with, especially during calving season, is predator control with coyotes. And so I talked to the company, and there's technology that we use with Wildlife and Parks, such as night vision and really thermal imagery for water rescue or lost child. And so we started exploring some of the tools that we could use, and the handheld Pulsar handheld back here, and there's a lot of different brands, but Pulsar we've had really good luck with. The handheld Pulsar, so when you're going out checking calves, to tag or whatever, make sure mama's doing well when they're calving, it's much easier for one of our ranch hands or one of our ranch managers to take that piece of equipment, stand on the back of their truck, and you can point out day or night. You don't need big spotlight or anything.
Right.
You can see them.
Yep.
So
that's awesome. I think that just gives you a little flavor for what's to come here the rest of the episode. We're going to take a break, and we come back more with Tony Reitz here at United Patriot Supply. You're watching DocTalk, and we're glad you joined us.
This cattle intel is brought to you by Neogen.
When giving injections to cattle, selection of the proper needle is important. In doing so, you must consider the route of administration and the size of the animal. The route of administration will determine the length of the needle. The routes of administration will either be subcutaneous, intermuscular, or intravenous. You will determine that route of administration by properly reading the label of the product. A shorter needle will be used for subcutaneous injections, and a longer needle will be utilized for intermuscular and intravenous injections. When selecting the proper size of the needle based on diameter or gauge, smaller diameter needles will be utilized for smaller animals and larger diameter needles for larger animals, but understanding that a larger number in gauge equates to a smaller diameter needle.
Thanks for watching Cattle Intel by Neogen.
Are you a cattle feeder looking to manage for a stronger and more profitable set of cattle? Look no further than Igenity Feeder. Igenity Feeder utilizes DNA to gain insight into your cattle's genomic potential, with the information to predict performance, quality, and economic endpoints for cattle feeders. Animals are scored and ranked in a simple format, driving more precise and accurate management decisions. Igenity Feeder gives you the power to predict days on feed, manage variability within lots, characterize carcass performance, and focus on metrics important to you and your operation. With the data provided, you will identify superior animals earlier and maintain high operational efficiency. Maximize your profit and optimize performance with Igenity Feeder.
We have fed for the same customers for the last 10 years. I know their cattle. Sometimes cattle can come in a little wild, long-haul cattle. Those types of cattle get therapies to help those settle in better. And we have also adapted that a lot of our sick cattle, by the time a cowboy pulls them from their pen, drives them to a hospital, and then either getting returned to the hospital or returning to the home pen, I believe that's a lot of stress on the animal. So anything that's been treated gets therapies, and we have seen success with that as well.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thomson here with Tony Reitz, and we're at United Patriot Supply outside of Seneca, Kansas. Unbelievable operation. When I say the American dream, stop by. It really is. Appreciate you being here today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Unbelievable background in wildlife and parks and different things. And now you're taking the tools that you've used for all those to do things that are just typical chores.
Yeah.
In agriculture.
Makes it a little more efficient. But what I have here is it's a Pulsar Helion 2 XP50 Pro. It's a heck of a tool. It's better than a spotlight when you're checking for calves, that's for sure. The cool thing about this is it records everything. You can record everything and download it on the computer, email it to your superior, show you what's going on, like when you're checking cattle. If I need to get out of the Ranger when I'm out doing the outfitting stuff, I can hop out of the Ranger, record animals, record predator issues.
Well, we have a lot more absentee landowners and people that are custom raising animals for people, and being able to take something like that, and when you're saying go out and you scan and observe the calves that have been born, or that the cows are up, or the calf's up nursing, and being able to say, hey, we had 4 calves last night, and here's what I saw on my check, just gives a peace of mind.
Yeah. Or if your ranch manager's out there and they need to tell, some of the cowboys, hey, we have 5 over here that need tagged, it can save a lot more time.
Yep.
And the thing is, a lot of guys are like, well, they're super expensive. Well, you get what you pay for, but what are cattle prices right now? You know, I mean.
Yeah. Well, a day old calf, $700.
Right.
All right. A day old calf, $700.
You lose a couple of them. Yeah. Right. they're just a versatile tool that can be used for about anything on the ranch.
Yeah, and then I'm assuming that you can use it whether there's two-legged predators that
Sure.
come on your place
Absolutely.
too, that you would be able to use that in the evening if you hear noise.
Yep.
That you can quickly scan outside and see if there's someone walking on your place.
Absolutely. And that's kind of some of the stuff that we used them for when I was prior in law enforcement for wildlife and parks, is we did it for like silver alerts or kids that are lost in a campground that are along a lake shore. I mean, they're worth their weight in gold when you have issues like that on the ranch. If somebody's stealing fuel or stealing cattle or stealing any livestock, I mean, they're a great tool to have.
Or just fishing.
Sure.
Sure. It shouldn't be in there.
Right.
And so a lot of times I'd like to be able to utilize that. What other things are you seeing people utilize this kind of technology for today?
Well, behind me is that scope, for example. It's a Pulsar. It has a rangefinder. It's got all the bells and whistles. But for predator control, it's the same thing. I can have this set up right here. I don't have to have 3 or 4 people out there with me, because I'm usually 98% of the time I'm by myself. But I can set that up, and the technology is crazy. I can have it ping my phone. So if I have that facing down a draw on the Flint Hills, I can be scanning on this side of the Flint Hills, and if that catches movement of a coyote coming up the side of the hill towards my collar, it'll ping my phone so I can get back onto that side.
Unbelievable.
So there's some really neat application.
So you can be watching 2 different places at once.
Correct.
And that unbelievable technology. We're going to get more into the predator control when we come back. We're here with Tony Reitz at United Patriot Supply, and we'll be right back.
Plant the seeds of financial security today with United Patriot Coins Precious Metal Starter Pack, the Patriot Pack. Exclusive offer for our DocTalk family. Call now and secure your financial future. Strengthen your roots with silver and gold. Call United Patriot Coin today and ask for the DocTalk special offer.
In the livestock industry, castration is a common practice to ensure proper herd management. All methods are painful, regardless of the age of the animal. At Solvit, we could not ignore the clear industry need for better castration solutions. So we developed LidoBand, a novel lidocaine-impregnated elastrator, addressing the pain associated with band castration. It provides local anesthesia throughout the castration process. LidoBand, a small device that can make a big difference.
Ranchers, looking to elevate your pasture management game? Turn to Heinen Brothers for expert aerial application. With state-of-the-art equipment and seasoned pilots, we deliver precision treatments right to your fields. From fertilizers to herbicides, Heinen Brothers has your pasture covered. Visit HeinenBrosAg.com to learn more.
When the ones who have your heart need your help, count on us for everything they deserve, delivered fast. We'll work hard for you so you can work hard for your dreams.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thomson here with Tony Reitz, and he's with Circle 6 Outdoors. Yep. We're here at United Patriot Supply outside of Seneca, Kansas, northeast Kansas, God's country. And we were talking about the tools that you can use to go find the things that we want to flourish, like the calves and the cows and that. And now we're going to talk about protecting them.
Correct.
And protecting our assets and protecting our cows and protecting our people. And you have technology here with both the gun, the sights, the infrared, and the suppressor.
Yep.
And we're going to go through some of it, right?
Correct.
All right. Well, help us out.
Before you saw the Pulsar handheld, this is the Pulsar Thermion 2. It's a bit pricey, but we wanted to buy the best of the best so we could be the best at getting rid of the predators that we want to get rid of. Yeah. It's thermal imagery. It has the same stuff as the handheld does, but basically you can record, you can zoom. This is the XG50, so it's automatically zoomed in 2 times. So when you're looking at it, for some applications that's not good, but for far off shots it's great. Got a built-in rangefinder, so all you got to do is push a button. It'll tell you exactly how far that coyote is away, and it'll do the trajectory of it too. It'll tell you. I'm still learning, But it records everything also.
And you said that in the earlier segment, it even has the technology such that you can connect it to your phone.
You can,
where it's watching for motion, and you can be watching 2 directions.
Correct. Or if you had a third person there, you can even sync it to a tablet.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of looking through here all the time, which that's the downside of it, you have to keep one eye so you can still have your night vision, because you're always constantly looking with that eye.
Yeah.
Once you get away from it, it's like you've been looking at a bright light. So you have to keep one eye always kind of for your night vision. But basically on the tablet, you could have somebody else that's watching the tablet that's feeding this feed through a tablet and saying, so they're not constantly looking through here. And then you just do this. I mean, you can point it wherever you want to point it while they're looking at the tablet.
Wow.
There's a lot of neat applications for it, but yeah, if you're by yourself, it'll ping to your phone. You can set it up to ping to your phone, so if there is motion and you're by yourself out in the field, you can know there's motion over here.
And one of the things we talked about before we got started is making sure that we're legal.
Absolutely.
And so, talk to me a little bit about both the sites and the suppressor as far as legalities.
So by the state of Kansas, there is a hunting season for running thermals for predator control.
Okay.
And that's January 1st through March 31st.
Okay.
However, you have every right as a rancher to protect your domicile and protect your livestock and protect anything,
Yep.
So if you do, like if people are abusing it like for fur, then it's a problem. But if you're protecting your cattle, you can articulate that pretty easy.
Right.
So there is actually a permit and a season to run for coyotes with this. But if you're around a feedlot and you have an issue, you have every right to take care of that.
Yep.
On the end here is a Silencer Co. Hybrid 46. It'll fit on many different platforms. This is the time to get a suppressor if you're wanting one. The turnaround time used to be anywhere from 6 months to 18 months to even 2 years. And now guys are getting them within weeks.
Wow.
So the paperwork on those is going pretty quickly. If you're wanting to get one, this would be the time to get it. The platform I have here is a Ruger American Ranch. It's a 6.5 Creedmoor. I have fancy guns. This is not one. This is one that I'm okay with throwing in the Ranger and working.
Yep.
It's a hardy gun, but you can put it on a wide variety of different platforms.
Just to kind of wrap up this segment, and we'll come back and we're going to talk more about this. At the end of the day, your investment needs to be in your optics.
Yes.
And in the suppressor.
Correct.
And I mean, obviously there's a wide range of guns that you can put these on, but if you don't start with these two, you're behind the 8 ball from the get-go.
You are. You get what you pay for. Honestly, there's some really good thermals out there that are, anywhere from $800 to $1,400, but in moisture, like if there's fog or snow or high moisture content, it'll affect the thermal.
Yep.
It won't be as clear, and you won't be able to decipher if that's the neighbor's dog or if it's a coyote. So you have to be very, very careful on that. Basically you get what you pay for, and it, in my experience, it's a great investment for what we've used it for on the ranch.
Perfect.
So
we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up with Tony Reitz. You're watching DocTalk, and we're sure glad you joined us.
When it comes to treating BRD, you want a product that you can count on to get the job done at an affordable price. Macrocin by Bimeda delivers on both. A straight shooting, no BS tulathromycin that does what it's supposed to do. End of story. You don't need to take our word for it though. Go to macrocin.com for customer testimonials and head-to-head trial results. For your cattle and your bottom line, choose Macrocin.
Hey, I'm Clark Victory. I grew up right here on this little ranch near Chelsea, Oklahoma. Roped and ranched all my life. A few years ago, I had an injury that created what they call a frozen shoulder. And after speaking with the surgeon in Tulsa, he told me that he could make my shoulder better if he did surgery, but he absolutely couldn't fix it. And I called Kansas Regenerative Medical Center. I did the stem cell replacement. By 12:30, my wife and I had lunch and was driving back to Chelsea. We work around here. Some days we work pretty hard around here, and my right shoulder doesn't get sore. It's like a baby's arm.
When you spot BRD in your cattle, that's your golden opportunity to target infection and its associated fever with a single dose of Resflor Gold. the industry standard dual therapy. To learn more, talk to your Merck Animal Health rep or your vet and see label at resflorgold.com. Animals intended for human consumption must not be slaughtered within 38 days of treatment. This product is not approved for use in female dairy cattle 20 months of age or older, including dry dairy cows.
Hey folks, for your firearm and ammo needs, for gun safes and much, much more, and to have it personalized, come visit us at United Patriot Supply outside of Seneca, Kansas. You can also visit us online at unitedpatriotsupply.com. Be sure to say that Dr. Dan and DocTalk sent you, and we'll see you down the road.
One animal has this huge impact on your operation.
BVDV is one of the most costly bovine diseases, with losses of $15 to $88 per head.
The virus will actually cross the placenta and get into the fetus. As it's developing, its immune system will recognize that virus as it's supposed to be here. And so then that's where our persistently infected animals come from. They're going to shed that virus their entire life, and then it's going to impact your operation.
It is important to work with your local veterinarian and partner with IDEXX for the best solution for your operation.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thomson here with Tony Reitz. He is, you work with the outfitting company and your Circle 6 group, but you're also part of a bigger enterprise.
Absolutely.
That's a big agriculture enterprise, J6, right?
Yep, J6 Enterprises. They took me on. I'm related to some of the family through my wife, and long story short, I'd always kind of give them guff about, you have all this ground, why aren't you utilizing it for hunting? It's some of the best hunting ground in Northeast Kansas corridor. Yeah. And finally, they're like, it's like you can actually sell some hunts on this and utilize your ground a little bit better, manage it better for wildlife. But anyway, J6 says, they brought me in and I explained what I do, for them. In the state of Kansas right now, between the cattle and the row crop, we have roughly 23 to 24,000 acres. And that's from Doniphan County to Saline County and to Washington County. And just recently, we purchased the Bismarck Ranch, which is 45,000 acres in South Dakota. And so once Kansas is established with the hunting and outdoor enterprise, I'll be venturing up there to get it started up there too.
It's awesome.
Yep.
Well, we talked about protecting, and obviously y'all ranch and you hunt, but there's the direct effect of predators killing calves and doing things, but we have the indirect of disease that raccoons can carry Bailey ascaris. We've got coyotes that carry the neospora, which can cause abortions if they get into the silage or if they're bedding in the hay or different things like that that cause some major issues with disease within our herds that we need to keep the predators cleaned up around there. So it's a year-long management platform that a person needs to do this. But if you get on, let's just say I'm ready to get started, okay? And I want to get this equipment, I'm going to go get on United Patriot Supply, or else I'm going to call down and talk to Garrett or Lane. They got really knowledgeable people. But if you're getting started and I get on that website, what am I going to start with?
Well, it depends on what predator you're targeting for sure. You don't have to have such a large caliber rifle. In fact, like for raccoons or anything like that, especially if it's around your silage pits and stuff, you can start with a smaller grade caliber. I mean, this particular scope has 5 different settings, or 6 different settings. I can program like A to fit this 6.5 Creedmoor. I can pop that off, put it on a different Picatinny rail that fits on a 22.
Yeah. Would I start with the scope, or it sounds like this might take a little bit longer to get here, so maybe the suppressor would be, or just do it all at once?
If you're not concerned about being loud, you really don't need the suppressor. If you're really wanting to get something done at night, this is the way to go, what I do first.
Okay.
And like I said, you don't have to start off with the best of the best. You can start out with a low grade and ease your way into the technology.
I can tell you that is really nice.
It's not Hollywood quality, like you see in the movies, but it sure helps that when you're shooting that gun doesn't fly off of the platform. Well, it makes it so much more stationary and stable.
And just your ears.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, not that anybody ever shot out of the cab of a pickup at a predator, but you don't ring for 2 hours.
Well, correct. And the way I got it past my wife to buy some of that is for my children. It's very important for them to keep their ears, You know, I was not exposed to that.
Right there.
So if you have a wife that's like, well, you're just getting that because it's a toy. No, I'm doing it for the children.
It's a great point.
I'm doing it for the children.
We're doing it for the kids.
I'm just saying, we're saving their ears because God knows we can't hear anything.
That's exactly right. My left ear is there for a reason, right? Tony's wealth of information. Thanks for being on the show.
Appreciate you having me.
Yep. Call United Patriot Supply again. Garrett or Lane, they can hook you up, or go on their website. Thanks for watching DocTalk. Remember, always work with your local veterinarian. And if you want to see what we do at DocTalk, you can find us on the web at www.doctalktv.com. When you do call United Patriot Supply, say DocTalk sent you. It's important to all of us that we're working together in all of our businesses, chasing the American dream. I'm here with Tony Reitz. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson, and we'll see you down the road.
At Merck Animal Health, we support you and your legacy by helping you meet the challenges of today with the innovations of tomorrow.